So this is my usual video because I usually post original music here, and I just have to say I'm not happy with the state of my music. There's quite a few reasons I've written them down. When I listen to them back, I just feel like cringing like most of the time. And yeah, like I've struggled with it for quite a while, and I've tried to get as many tips and tricks as I can. As far as I can get the tone to go with my music, it's as good as it's gonna get, I think. Because I've tried, genuinely. I've mixed properly, I've added tones I need to. Even started doing saturation, which helps. Yeah, I'll go into the reasons now. So what went wrong? Simply put, I didn't put enough emphasis on writing as well as practicing. Because where I started making this music was because of chords I made that I liked. But I didn't put those chords into a composition in that sense. So what ended up happening was I was basically putting random bullshit everywhere that I thought sounded good. In reality, it just didn't, and because there's no like structure to it either, I ended up failing in that sense, and that caused a lot of issues. And fun facts, but not so fun as well. I do not know music very. I've tried learning multiple times, and I even have a fucking graph of it up here above my computer, like a poster of all the sort of scales and keys, and I just can't figure it out. Like, there's no sort of way to like figure it out, and I've also diagnosed with learning difficulties when I was young. But for sure, I definitely can't grasp music theory, and it just seems really difficult to me. So, whenever I write something, I often cannot prescribe to music theory. And again, that's because I just can't understand it. You know, I don't know where to go after E, I don't know where to go after F, that sort of thing. I can figure it out over time, but learning scales is incredibly difficult to me, on top of learning keys as well. So I think the only way I can move forward with this is basically making a change, and I'll list the other things first actually before I explain that. So after that is real tone cable quality, and what I mean by that is I used a Rocksmith Real Tone Cable to record. The problem with that is it seems to degrade the quality, and I couldn't find any objective evidence that it did. When listening to it compared to a VST, which I was using on my other channel for my metal covers there, it sounded a lot better on a VST. And that's basically caused me to have a realization, which I'll go into later, that might actually help. Yeah, like, as for another thing, I feel like the vocals weren't there. I struggle with writing vocals, and I even, with my most recent cover, my cover original, I actually use my vocals as a template, my own voice. The problem is, there is no vocalist, like a synthesizer I know of that can mimic a very low growl. And even then I've tried clean vocals. And sort of the problem with writing vocals is I don't understand how you make the pitch. Like, how do you make it exciting to listen to? Like, how do you make it interesting? And I even use Parkway Drive as a template for how I wrote it, and whilst it sounded better than my last, it wasn't good enough. I got the timings down, I got as much words as I can in, but it wasn't good enough. I got the timings down, I got as much words as I can in, but it wasn't good enough. I got the timings down, I got as much words as I can in, but it wasn't good enough. I got the timings down, I got as much words as I can in, but it wasn't good enough. I got the timings down, I got as much words as I can in, but it wasn't good enough. I got the timings down, I got as much words as I can in, but it wasn't good enough. I got the timings down, I got as much words as I can in, but it wasn't good enough. I got the timings down, I got as much words as I can in, but it wasn't good enough. I got the timings down, I got as much words as I can in, but it wasn't good enough. I got the timings down, I got as much words as I can in, but it wasn't good enough. I got the timings down, I got as much words as I can in, but it wasn't good enough. I got the timings down, I got as much wor I just can't grasp how to do singing. Like, and it's such a struggle. And it's so much so that I'm actually going to have to educate myself on at least that. Because holy shit, I can't keep writing music that way. Especially with no knowledge on vocals, and even doing them myself, I don't sing. I've never been able to, as you can tell by my voice. I don't have the lung capacity for it either, so that further complicates the issue. So, again, like, lots of problems and very few answers. Just seems to be the gimmick at the moment, and that's really destroying my mental health as well. It's because I can't figure this shit out, that I can't feel like I'm doing anything. Can't actually do anything. So, at least to the last thing, let's say second to last thing, I've been struggling with making artwork for it, and this tends to come from just a lack of inspiration, I suppose, but also it's just like I struggle with artwork in general already. And I'm not good with character artwork or just like single pieces or anything, and I do it digitally. Not really by choice, but because I just sort of need to. It's the safest option for me, because I can also repair mistakes that way. As if I did it on paper, it'd turn out like shit, and I wouldn't be able to edit it, and I've tried before. I've made things on paper, and they don't turn out properly. So, yeah, that idea just completely goes out the window. So, that's the artwork side of it, and I don't know if I want to make any, I just want to make like either a visualizer or some sort of artwork that I can share universally. Because I think that would be better than trying to make an individual piece for everything. And I could take my time with it as well, and part of the reason I make music as well is just practice. I want to genuinely get better, even though I don't practice on guitar enough. When with practice with other things like artwork is hopes that one day I can make something better and be satisfied with it. And that's sort of how I feel about music as well. I'm not satisfied with it because it just doesn't sound right. Every time I listen to it, it's like I'm not sure I'd be proud to share this either. So it's like I don't want to. And even my most recent original, which I'll upload, and I won't do much to it. I just upload the audio that I've got so far and say it's unfinished. Yeah, like the way things are going, I don't feel like I can make music that well anymore. And this ties into the next thing. Other than I'm listening to all the previous videos, I will actually put them in a playlist so people can see them, and I'll try to find a style that works, because I think going for like jazz doesn't make sense much. You can do it, but it's not very easy. You just need a metal composition and then just introduce like jazz into it every now and then. That sort of thing. But even then, I haven't listened to enough jazz, so I feel unqualified. Whereas, for example, in a recent sort of composition I made, I discovered that there's a subgenre of metal that I can actually be making. That's actually doable, and I was shocked when I found it. So yeah, the only other thing to say is real life is hitting me very hard, and it's definitely affecting my mental health a lot, not in good ways. On the bright side, it has made me realise that I'm probably going through autistic burnout, but it's not exactly great, to be honest. So yeah, it's just going to be trial and error at this point. I think I don't really know any other way it's going to go. And that leads to like the final thing I'll say here. I think what has to change is my approach to it and style. You know, I need to look at essentially writing like metal as I would. I'll actually save some videos now writing metalcore because I like metalcore the most. And yeah, like Nick Alternative's done a video on it, so I'll watch that. He's actually very good at analysing how music goes. Yeah, like there's a real change in sort of action and style here is essentially trying to be more careful of how I write things. So one of the tips I got that was really useful is starting simple and getting harder as you go along. So there is one issue with that. I'm not a simple person. It's I like things that are complex and has detail, so for me it's a bit out of my comfort zone to do that. Even on the songs that I do like, there's often like simplified bits but have tons of detail compared to the rest. A lot of pollution is like that actually. It's simple sounding, but it's actually very hard. Yeah, I think basically said everything, and I think I'm quite excited for the new original and possibly the new style that I'm sticking with. I'm very happy with how it turned out so far. And believe it or not, it's actually a style that sort of stems from one of my covers on the other channel. So it might actually turn out really well because I've done this before. And I think if I can do it again, that'd be amazing. Definitely an interesting style. I'll say that. Yeah, thanks for listening. Hopefully people understand where I'm coming from with this.